Carl Augusti. Carl?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Director, and members of the board. My name is Carl August, General Chairman of the American Train Dispatchers Association, representing train dispatchers on PATH, also a member of the PATH Labor Council. In the last 8 years, we have seen unprecedented cooperation from the represented employees on PATH, sacrificing their home and family life to collectively rebuild the railroad from the devastation of Superstorm Sandy, and also we've led the nation in full compliance and positive train control. During the same 8-year span, all the represented employees on PATH have been without a contract or a raise. In the last 8 years of negotiation, the one constant has been the carrier's proposed drastic change to health care, which would adversely affect the membership, all while we are dealing with an obvious cancer cluster on PATH. PATH, present and retired employees are being diagnosed with cancer at an accelerated rate, and we've lost several of these members. The PATH Labor Coalition and its members are looking for just an equitable contract to keep us in pace with the commuter rail in this region. We are simply looking to maintain our quality of life and health. And this is an abbreviated version of what I had to say, which gives me time to just make a personal notation. I hope the port seriously take our claim of a cancer cluster seriously on PATH. In the last month, I lost a dynamic coworker and a friend who was diagnosed with cancer less than 2 years ago, and under the retirement age of 60. So she was less than 60 and she's gone. And this very morning, I visited a friend in the hospital whose 65th birthday will be this Sunday, and I could only pray and hope that he'll be here on Sunday. You know, he's been retired 5 years. He hasn't even got 5 years out of his retirement yet. So this is what we're fighting for as the Labor Council. We're fighting to maintain our health. We believe that the idea of working is to maintain a quality of life while working, but also to have a retirement, to be able to retire and enjoy some of your life. And this is something that's going by the wayside for PATH employees at this point. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Arthur Blakey.
Good afternoon. My name is Arthur Blakey III. I'm the Vice Chairman of BLET Local 497, and I've just completed my 14th year of service at PATH. Last month, my colleagues on the PATH Labor Council appeared before you and requested intervention in the stalled contract negotiations between PATH and our various organizations. Since that June board meeting, BLET Chairman Nicholas McCarthy and I have had a negotiation session at the National Mediation Board in Washington with the Port Authority's outside counsel, Gary DeLaverson, in attendance. However, the offer that he presented to us was an inferior version of the one I've seen multiple times since I became involved in negotiations 18 months ago. It included an insubstantial increase in carrier contributions to our pension that would allow it to run dry 6 years before I reach retirement age. And it also included proposed work rule changes that involve giving back engineers jobs to the carrier for pennies on the dollar. The offer had the same insufficient wage increases, including the disrespectful 1.25% for the years, undoing the most severe damage caused by Superstorm Sandy, when PATH employees struggled mightily to get the region moving again, even if they had no home to go back to or a car to drive back to it in. These wage increases would in turn be devastated by proposed healthcare design changes that would make my family's medical bills skyrocket by 123% and keep any new engineers from receiving the same quality of care that saved engineer Anthony Pilla's life when he was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma in his tongue, throat, and lymph nodes. Brother Pilla spent 8 months shuttling back and forth between multiple doctor's appointments on both sides of the Hudson River, getting second opinions and enduring radiation and chemotherapy, not knowing if he would lose his life like 7 other engineers I've known in my time on the railroad. Well, thanks to our coverage provided by PATH, he did beat the odds, and I was there on his first day back at work. That evening, we made up work trains together at Journal Square, with me operating on one end and Brother Pill on the other. During the moves, I changed ends, and unbeknownst to him at the time, I saw Brother Pill on the trailing work flat, down on his hands and knees, weeping openly. As he would attest to later, he was truly grateful, not just to be alive, but to work at a place where he could receive the kind of care that helped beat the dreaded disease that was trying to take his life, while not bankrupting or displacing him and his family in the process. If we agree to the proposed healthcare design changes, medications, doctors, and facilities will become prohibitively expensive, and new hires will have their medical options for their families severely abbreviated by the newly proposed EPO plan they would be placed in. In the face of such offers, the Path Labor Council's main concern is whether or not Mr. DeLarison is making no attempt to negotiate in good faith and acting independently of this board. To address this, we're requesting a meeting with you, Executive Director Cotton, and Chairman O'Toole in an effort to eliminate negative influences and find common ground to reach fair agreements with the unionized workers here at Path. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Michael Brady?